Okay, so let me do the introduction for this video first. So I watched a lot of K-dramas ever since the summer break began, like probably even before summer break started even. Yeah, and like so the number that I finished or like kind of like tried out and didn't want to finish has already hit 15. Yeah, so at first I wanted to like do a video about K-dramas that I've watched recently, like tier ranking them, right, when it was like 10. And then I couldn't stop watching dramas. Like, you know how when you're like in the drama kick and then when you finish one you're like off that high and then you want to like watch more. Yeah, that's what I was feeling. So yeah, so now we're at 15. I'm going to try to like tier rank them based on like how I felt about them, so it's very subjective. And let me talk to you about what is this called, the ranks, the names of so the names might be a little bit cheesy because like I didn't really know what to like rename them to, and I didn't want to just leave it at like S all the way down to like, I don't know, C. So yeah, I tried to rename them, but it's a little bit cheesy, so please bear with the names. But yeah, so the first tier, which is the red tier, is actually You're My Person, You Belong to Me. Okay, I got this idea from this website. I'll try to link it down below if I can find it and if I remember to. Something about iconic K-drama lines, and then this line actually came from Scarlet Heart Rio. Like, oh my god, I watched that like back in the day, you know. So like, yeah, I thought it was quite meaningful to put it as the top tier, you know. And it's like, You're My Person, You Belong to Me. It sounds like the drama is like has a special place in my heart, you know. So like, yeah, the next tier is just, in Korean it's Asa, and then it's like, this was from another website which I'll try to remember to link down as well. It's about, I think it's like commonly used terms or like slang in Korean dramas, then like they put it there and then they tell you the meaning of it lah. So Asa, just like, I don't know, just when I see that word, right, it just reminds me of like when, you know how in like K-dramas then the character like celebrates over something that they like, or like, oh, something good happened, then they just like Asa, you know. I might be like interpreting this completely wrong, but that's how I chose to interpret it. Yeah. For the third tier, the yellow tier, I chose It's Okay to Not Be Okay after the iconic K-drama, because this was actually the first name that I thought of when I was trying to rename it. I thought it should like be in the middle because, you know, it's okay to not be okay, like not be okay meaning like not be as good as the other dramas, so it's just like in the average middle, you know. And then in the green tier, it is Na Monjo Karte, meaning that, oh my god, my Korean pronunciation is also a little bit bad, so please forgive my pronunciation. Yeah, so Na Monjo Karte is like, you know, when you see in K-dramas that like the person is saying like, oh, I'll make a move first, like, I'll leave first lah. And then I just thought like maybe this can be like for dramas that are like, you know, maybe good but then not as good as the It's Okay to Not Be Okay tier, and then it probably won't leave like a lasting impression on me, which is why I said like I'll leave first lah. You know, like this drama won't like have any impact on me whatsoever. The final tier, which is in blue, is 장난해. Yeah, it's just saying like, are you kidding me? Like, you know, maybe because like, I was like expecting a lot for this drama and then like it failed to deliver. Either it means that I really didn't like it, or like I just like completely like didn't finish it. So DNF. Should I rank this according to like the order which I watched them? I think we should. Okay. The first drama that we will talk about is Vincenzo. Let me like bring it up here because let me just leave it here first. Okay, this is not my ranking, it's just I want to talk about it first. So let me give you like some plots about this. So for that, I'll be reading off from the Asian Wiki website, because that was the first drama that I watched. At the age of 8, this character, the main character, is played by Song. So he is now an adult and has the name of Vincenzo Casano. Okay, he's played by Song Joong Ki. He's a lawyer who works for the mafia as a consigliere. I was like googling how to pronounce it and I think I still cannot, but yeah, that just means like an advisor for like the mafia. Yeah, to the leader of the mafia. He's a member of the family and he resolves disputes between them. Okay, so he's a lawyer, and in like the first episode, he is seen like fleeing to South Korea. Okay, and then like from there he gets involved with this lawyer Hong Cha-young, played by John Yo-bin, and she's like an attorney who will do anything to win a case. They kind of like get involved with each other with like the law and everything. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but the main thing about this drama, right, if you have already seen that video about my review in a previous video, I really liked the side characters in this story. Like that was what made it for me. Like Song Joong Ki and the side characters. Like I didn't really feel the chemistry between Song Joong Ki and Jeon Yo Bin, but they're both very good actors lah. And like the rest of the side characters, right? They really like, whoa, they came and then they like did everything. Like oh my god, they like did that and more. You know, like I really love the side characters, and like my favorite character, if you haven't already watched that video, is An Hee-seok. So if you are watching this and you also watched Vincenzo before, like tell me who's your favorite side character apart from the main two characters like Song Joong Ki and Jeon Yo Bin, because you know everyone sings over the both of them in the show. I really enjoyed it, which is why there was like a plot twist also that I totally didn't see coming, which I probably should have, but yeah, and then it just like completely blew me away. And the characters like really did it for me, and like the action scenes also, like oh my god, they were so cool. Yeah, so you can already tell this is going straight to, oh my god, can I load? This is going straight to You're My Person, You Belong to Me, but it's not loading. Okay, yes, it's going up there. Yeah, it's like one of the best dramas that I've watched in a while. So like okay, second I watched True Beauty. Okay, this is like a very cute drama, like high school drama, you know, and then it's played by Cha Eun-woo, Moon Ga-young, and Hwang In-yeok, like the three main characters, I would say. And it's like a common high school drama based off of a webtoon, and then it's like how this girl who is apparently like really ugly, like without her makeup, and then she was like bullied in school and stuff. So like when she gets the opportunity to transfer to a new school, right, she like explores more about makeup. She discovers makeup. Like before she goes into the new school, she puts on makeup lah and like changes her appearance such that when she goes to the new school, like she becomes super pretty, and then she's like more popular in school now. She gets involved with the two male leads lah, and then it's just their story from there. It's like super cute and like quite addictive, I would say. And it's like one of the better high school dramas that I've watched already. Although I don't really like the message that they give off, like you know how they're always like, oh, you must need makeup to cover up your like flaws and then like your insecurities. But it was really cute and really addictive. Yeah. Where would I put it? Okay, I will put it in Asa because like it doesn't leave me as much of an impact as Vincenzo, but it's still like a good drama, which is why I put it in like the second best tier. So it's like really cute, a really quick watch, you know, if you're interested. Okay, next, Mouse. Oh my gosh, Mouse. Without giving away too many spoilers, I would just like to say that about this movie is like thriller, crime, maybe sci-fi. The main character is Lee Seung-gi. Okay, he's playing this rookie police officer, right, known as Jong Ba-reum. He is an honest person and tries to attain justice, and then like he like somehow meets this person called Lee Hee-jun. That's the name of the actor. He's playing Go Mu-chi. It's just like the synopsis on Mouse itself is very big, so I don't really want to give away too many spoilers also. Okay, so like he's facing off this psychopath murderer who places the entire nation in fear, and his life is totally changed. So this drama has like a little bit of like a biological take. It's like, is it nature versus nurture, that kind of thing, because in this drama, right, it's possible to detect psychopathic genes before the baby is born. So like when he's inside the mother's womb, right, the scientists are able to like detect whether the baby has this psychopathic gene that will enable them to, like when they grow up, they will most likely either be a genius or be a psychopath. Like that's like the main thing for this. It's like nature versus nurture. I don't want to say any more than that. Like I really recommend that you just go in and watch it, because there's like it's super like you won't expect what's coming. Yeah, for the better or for the worse, I leave it up to you to decide. But yeah, like it's really quite good. I was like kept on the edge of my seat, you know, when watching this, and like Lee Seung-gi is such a good actor, you know. Oh my gosh. After watching like Bastard, right, spoilers for Bastard, B-U-S-T-E-D, I've come to like not really trust Lee Seung-gi a little bit. So like when I was watching this drama, I was also a little bit like, really, like, you know. Mouse, I would also put it in Asa, because like some of the things that happened, right, like I either like didn't like really like it, or like I felt like it could have been done better. So yeah, I'll put it in Asa. Yes. but it's like one of the better thriller dramas that I've seen already. So yes, it's good. It's worth a watch. At 18 is like another high school drama. If you don't know, I love watching high school dramas, and like I needed like a little bit of a lighter drama after what was Mouse, you know. So I chose this one only because I thought my friend recommended this to me, but turns out she recommended me 18 again, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, so I watched this and it was like really super cute. It's about this character Choi Jun-woo, played by Ong Seung-woo. He's like a little bit like a loner kid. He doesn't really like care about what happens with his life. He like doesn't like to express his emotions. You know, like he doesn't like to do anything to stand up for himself. Like he just like lets things happen as they flow, and he's like nonchalant to whatever happens to him or like to what happens to his reputation, so on and so forth. So when he transfers to a new school, he meets Yoo Soo-bin, played by Kim Hyang-gi, who is like kind of a top student, but her life is controlled by her mother, like you know those tiger moms, you know, helicopter moms. So they meet in school. They kind of like go through like their school journey together. There is this other, like the second lead, right? This boy called Ma Hui-yang, who is played by Shin Seung-ho. So he's like a student, like the class president, that kind of thing. In this drama, it's like about each characters and their struggles with like coming to terms of like their personality, their youth, because now they're 18, right? And then you know how they always say like when you're 18, like there's a lot of things that happen, like you have to grow up, there's this transition period, you know. Each of the characters in this story has like a role to play lah. And Moonbin from Astro is also in this drama, like you know Chalnu from True Beauty, he's in Astro also. Yeah, so it's like the supporting characters, right, also played by like people that I know, so it's like a surprising part lah, like that's good also. And Ong Seung-woo, oh my god, after I was watching this, right, he's super cute, and like you know he's playing this like quiet boy, and then I thought that was his personality, you know, because like I thought like most like people who act these kinds of roles would have the same personality, but oh my god, I was so wrong. Like I watched this YouTube video about him, like, and then it's like completely different. I was just like, his acting is so good, oh my gosh. And his chemistry with Yoo Soo-bin, Kim Hyang-gi, the actress, is like so good. I was like, oh my god. Then oh my god, the Son Sang-nim in this drama, right, I really love him. Like oh my god, he's played by Kang Ki-young. In the drama, he's Oh Han-kyol. I really love how like you know there is this teacher for like the students there, like he genuinely cares about them, he tries to help them solve problems, and it's just like oh my god, my heart. Yeah, it's like really cute. And then it's like cute, right, but it still has depth to it, you know, because like each character has their own struggles, like in school. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the ending now, so if you don't want to hear about it, you can like skip a little ahead. This ending, right, is like super bittersweet. Like oh my god, like I guess it's like expected lah, because as in it's not expected, it's like expected in real life, because like you know high school romances don't normally last, right? But like it was like a kind of bittersweet ending. Like it wasn't a happy ending which I wanted. It's kind of an open ending, I would say, like a little bittersweet, because like they have to get separated, but then you like don't know whether or not they last through this separation. So yeah, oh my god, it's like super cute also. I think in the video where I talked about Vincenzo, I also talked about this drama when I was fangirling about it in Snapchat. So yeah, I'll link it, like I don't know, there or there. After talking so long about it, I will also put it in Asa, because although the ending wasn't what I wanted, I think it's like a very realistic portrayal, and like I feel like this whole drama is just super worth the watch. So right after that, I watched 18 again, because that was the drama that my friend recommended me to watch. So this drama has a little bit of like a fantasy twist to it. So you know this movie called 17 Again, like played by Zac Efron. This drama is inspired from that movie, made into a drama. Middle-aged man, 37-year-old, they are a couple lah. Then they were from like high school together all the way until now, and then they have an 18-year-old son and daughter, so like twins. And so we follow Hong Dae-young, the main male character, okay, played by Yoon Sang-hyun. But then they want to get a divorce. At first, Hong Dae-young just thinks it's because like she cheated on him, but like we come to find out that that's not the case. I'm not gonna tell you the reason why. I think you should just find out while watching. So he's facing a divorce, right? And then he got fired from his job also. Getting fired from his job is like the last straw for the wife, which is Jong Da-jong. Yeah, so because of that, they get divorced. Hong Dae-yong starts to regret his life because he's 37 and he has an 18-year-old son and daughter, right? Because when they were in high school, they were a couple. So like he was actually like a rising basketball star. In the first episode, we see him like running out from this like super important basketball match to like find the girl who was pregnant at the time. They decide to raise the kids lah, despite all the possible challenges that they already foresee. And like he's starting to regret that a little bit. From that moment, he changes into his 18-year-old body self. So his mind is still there, like from his 37-year-old self, but now he is in his 18-year-old body. So from there, right, he decides to go to his old secondary school. Okay, is it secondary school? Like I believe it's secondary school or college. I don't know what they call it in Korea. Somehow he is in the same school as his daughter and son. So now he's starting to get to know his children more, as well as his wife. Yeah, so he starts to live his new life. Yeah, so before he changed into his 18-year-old body, right, his relationship with his children were like very strained because like the kids feel like the dad doesn't understand them. Yeah, and then the dad feels like he's putting in so much effort for work for them, but then he doesn't like express it properly lah. The younger self, right, is played by Lee Do-hyun, and oh my god, this drama introduced me to him. Right, when I first saw him, I was like, why? Like, did my friend recommending me to watch this, you know? Like, I thought he wasn't that good looking at the start, but as you watch more of this drama, right, you come to realize that he has this charm to him. So like the more you look at him, the more handsome he is. You know, he's not the kind where you first look at him and then you're like, oh my god, what a handsome guy, you know. So now I'm going to head into the spoilery part. In this drama, you see how him as his 18-year-old self comes to like gets to know his family better and gets to know like his wife better lah. And then from there, right, you'll see how the wife is like questioning herself because this is an 18-year-old boy, but she's having feelings for him. I didn't really like where they decided to take things, like the directors and stuff, because there is like a kissing scene. There are multiple kissing scenes with Lee Do-hyun and Jong Da-jong, and when you first see the first kissing scene, right, when I watched it, I was like super uncomfortable because the age gap is really like, very big between the Jong Da-jong, who is played by Kim Ha-no, and Lee Do-hyun. Yeah, so it's like a little bit uncomfortable for me lah, but if you don't have any like qualms about that, then I guess you'll enjoy this like much more than I did. I can't really remember anymore because it's been some time, but because of that, and then because of like some other reason, because you know, like when he gets changed into this, he has to change back someday, right? And then the bond between his 18-year-old self with his son and daughter didn't really get resolved in a way that I wanted as well. Having said all of that, it's still good because like there was like a lot of scenes where, you know how they misunderstand the main character a lot. He actually makes a lot of sacrifices for the family that the family members don't know about lah. Like, you know how like fathers are more like, they make little sacrifices that we tend to overlook, and they want to like shoulder everything themselves, and then they just really like love their children, you know. So like a lot of the scenes when I watched that like made me tear up, and then I think him like realizing, or not realizing, but like confirming that choosing to have his children was not a regret, actually like loves his children a lot, really like evoked a lot of emotion in me, you know. And then there was like you know, at the end, after they end the episode, and then they'll play like maybe like a 10-second clip of like the drama credit scene or something. There was one scene where he was like, when his twins were just born, and then he had to like struggle to like earn money like to raise them. It was saying how like when it's raining, right, you can see how much this person loves the other person by how they hold their umbrella together. And then it cuts to them like the main character holding the umbrella for his two children, like, so because they're so much younger than him, right, so much smaller also, so he like held the umbrella like for the both of them, and then he just like stood completely drenched in the rain. Oh my god, it really made me like, my heart, you know. Oh my gosh. Also, this drama is quite funny because like Lee Do-hyun is really like charming, and then like funniness of a 37-year-old man in an 18-year-old's body, like so on and so forth, you know. I don't know where to put this. Should I put it in Asa? Should I put it in It's Okay to Not Be Okay? Okay, overall, I will put it in It's Okay to Not Be Okay, because when I see it being compared to the other 3 dramas that are here, right, I think it's not at that level, but it's so good, which is why my tier ranking, it's okay to not be okay, meaning not be that good, you know, it's still really a recommended watch. Now let's move on. Mr. Queen. I really like struggle to put this, but okay, let's talk about the plot first. So this drama also has a little bit of a fantasy twist because there's time travel involved. So in the first episode, right, you will feel like, is this the correct drama that I'm watching? Because we are in present day and then I'm following this chef. So this chef called Jang Bong-hwan, he works at the president's blue house, and somehow he finds his way into this Queen Kim So-young's body in the Joseon period. But that is only towards the end of the first episode, which is why without knowing anything and just watching this, right, from the first episode you will think like, am I in the correct drama? Okay, so he finds himself in this female person's body. King Chol-jong has secrets, okay? He seems like a figurehead who is gentle and easygoing, but maybe there's like a darker side to him. This drama is like very, very funny and comedic because of this like concept itself. Like this male is in a female's body. Maybe there is a romance between Kim So-young and Chol Jong, you know. Shin Hae-sun, the actress who plays Kim So-young, is so good at portraying like Jang Bong-hwan is in his body and when he's not, you know, like oh my gosh. And then Kim Jong-hyun, who plays the king, right, oh my gosh, I really like love this drama a lot also. Like even though it's historical, and I must say that I don't really like to watch a lot of historical dramas because I don't know, I just prefer like modern dramas more, but it's still super good. Jang Bong-hwan is a chef, right, in Kim So-young's body. She will like cook in the kitchen, like the imperial kitchen. I just really love that for some reason. I love the modern person traveling to this time period that's like before the modern times, right, and then like cooking like super good food and from like the modern day, for example. That's why I was like, yeah, I really love this. Now let's talk about like this a little bit spoilery parts, okay? So eventually, same as the 18 again, right? Because of the concept, you have to like show out how it resolves itself also. Jang Bong-hwan in Kim So-young's body, right, starts to like feel like romantic tension between the Chol Jong king. First, he's like very against it because like he's a guy and then he seems like he's straight and stuff, right? But then like slowly he's also not sure whether it's his own feelings or whether it's just he is in So-young's body whom loves the king a lot, doesn't resist his advances anymore. And then like we don't really like see that resolved. In the end, like he just goes back to present day and then he like went to find like a popular bookstore, like find a history book to see like the timeline of all the kings, so on and so forth. I'd like to see like a kind of explanation or like a conclusion to that string left untied, you know. The king and queen like politics in the Joseon period, right? I don't really like politics also. So like it got a little bit boring, but I cannot stop thinking about that drama. Like all the funny parts with the queen and the king, you know, and like the other side characters. I just think about the funny parts, but I know that when I was watching it, there were the parts that there was a little bit boring for me as well. So I would also say that for this drama, it would be in Asa. Now this one I'm contemplating whether to put it in Asa or put it in You're My Person, You Belong to Me, because I keep thinking about it and like this concept is super like different for me because we have seen like time traveling from same gender to same gender or like body swap, you know, but nothing that has been like that I've watched that has been like different gender plus different time period, you know. Okay, I might change the ranking for this one, but let's just leave it here first. After this is Beyond Evil. This is also another like thriller crime drama, right? Okay, it's played by Shin Ha-kyun, who plays Lee Dong-sik, who was once a capable detective. Okay, he works in a small city in this police substation when one day Detective Han Joo-won, played by Yoo Jin-gu, oh my gosh, Yoo Jin-gu, is transferred to the same substation, who is assigned to work as Lee Dong-sik's partner. So now they are like a team, they work together. This whole drama, right, centers around this serial murder case that takes place in like their small peaceful city of, is it Manyang? Yeah, and then it's like from 20 years ago that changed Lee Dong-sik's life. And can I just say that the young Lee Dong-sik was played by Lee Do-hyun? Like oh my gosh, like can you tell I'm becoming a Lee Do-hyun fan like as I watch the dramas? Yeah, so they work to catch the killer. And this drama, I can like say that immediately, I'll put it in Changnan He because I prefer dramas that not center on one case. You know, I love to watch like police dramas, detective dramas that like have a lot of different cases that make me guess like, oh, who is the killer, that kind, you know. But this drama is like only on this one case that like has took place like 20 years ago. I was expecting like so much from this drama because Yeo Jin-goo is also playing in it, right? And it felt very flat for me, which is why I said Changnan He, and I wouldn't recommend it because it's just not what I normally enjoy. But if you think like based on the plot and what I've said, you think you might enjoy it, then go ahead and try it for yourself, you know, because everyone has different tastes. I don't really have much to say about that, so let's continue. Okay, Run On is this love story between Ki Son-gyum, played by Im Shi-wan, and Oh Mi-joo, played by Shin Se-kyung. I have watched one other drama from each main lead. Im Shi-wan's one was Mi Seng, which is super good. Like, oh my gosh, it's an office drama with very little romance, but I love it. Shin Se-kyung's one, I watched Bite of Heartbreak, which felt a little flat for me. So Run On is also like a cute romance drama. Ki Son-gyum, he was once a popular sprinter for the national team. Due to a case, he quit the sport and then he begins to work as a sports agent. His character is like super cute, you know, because he's a little bit like 傻傻的. It's like super like adorable. Oh Mi-joo writes subtitle translation for movies, which is such a cool occupation, you know, that I haven't seen like featured in TV series or like movies yet. So it's like very cool to know about this. Because she can translate, right, she ends up like working together with Ki Son-gyum for this event. So that's how they kind of met. To follow So Dana, played by SNSD Soo-young, who is the CEO of a sports agency. So Ki Son-gyum was under her agency. The last main character is Lee Yong-hwa, played by Kang Tae-oh, who is like a university student majoring in art. So like this whole drama is about like the four of them and like their interactions, you know. And it's like, okay, not very cute, but kind of a good drama, you know, not really much feels, but it's still like acceptable. Like I really don't have much to say other than it was like good, and then like, so that's why I'll just like casually put it in It's Okay to Not Be Okay, because I can still remember what happened, but I can't really like describe it in words, but it's still better than the Na Monjo Kaite tier. Let's talk about these two together. Welcome to Waikiki 1 and 2. So it's like a really stress relief, comedy drama, romance drama. So the first one we follow Kim Jong-hyun from Mr. Queen, Lee Ik-kyung, who is super good. Oh my god, he is in both seasons and I really feel like his acting is amazing. And the last male main character is Son Seung-won. The three of them are like very good friends, and then they're like staying in this guest house. They rented this place to open a guest house because they wanted to like fulfill their dream of like producing a movie together. So Kim Jong-hyun, right, he dreams of being a movie director, Lee Ik-kyung dreams of being an actor, and Son Seung-won dreams of becoming a scenario writer. So together they can produce a movie by themselves, but things have not been easy for them, especially for their guest house and stuff. The first episode, right, we discover that their guest house is facing bankruptcy and a mysterious baby and single mother appear at their guest house. So the story unravels from there. You will come to find that there are 3 male main characters and 3 female main characters, so together they kind of pair up. So it's like kind of like a very like chill, stress-free, just there for comedic purposes drama. Yes, which is why I will put it in Na Monjo Kaite for both seasons. Let me tell you about the second season first. So the second season, only Lee Ik-kyung remained, while the rest of the actors didn't like appear for the second season. So now in the second season, we have Kim Son-ho plays Cha Woo-shik, Lee Ik-kyung plays the same character, and Shin Hyun-soo plays Kook Ki-bong. The 3 female main characters, Moon Ga-young from True Beauty, An So-hee and Kim Ye-won. So again, 3 male main characters, 3 female main characters, and then they pair up. Oh, for the first season, I forgot to mention the females. For the first season of Welcome to Waikiki, the females are Jong In-sun, who plays Han Yoona, Go Won-hee, who plays Kang So-jin, and Lee Joo-woo, who plays Min Soo-ah. So for the second season, it's like typically it's kind of like the same formula they used for the first season, quite funny, and then like that's all, you know. I think like in the second season, Lee Ik-kyung got to shine a lot more. Like they showcase a part about his acting struggle. He is like a small actor who has no like name for himself, and he like keeps taking on like these roles that are super small, probably don't even have a lot of lines, maybe like 1 or 2, or maybe no lines at all. It's just like his struggles as an actor and how he feels like he might never get to make a name for himself in the acting industry. Like that was the most memorable scene from the second season for me, because I feel like it's like very relatable to both him and like other actors and actresses as well, because like in the Korean industry or like in any industry for like acting, right, there's a lot of talent, a struggle to make yourself known. And how I feel like I haven't watched a drama where he has been a main character yet, other than this one. Yeah, I think it was very good. Like he showed off his acting very well, but still like it doesn't really make much of an impact on me in terms of like the plot, because like the first and second seasons are kind of similar except that they changed the characters. Yes, which is why I put both of them in the Namonja Karate tier, because I probably like won't remember the plot of it. Next, I watched Youth of May. So this is not a historical drama, but it's kind of like an olden days drama. Like it happened in 1980 during the turbulent times of the Gwangju uprising. Lee Do-hyun, who plays Hee-tae, and Go Min-soo, who plays Myung-hee, fall in love. Yeah, so there's so many Lee Do-hyun dramas that I've watched. Like, can you tell I'm falling in love with him? Hee-tae is a medical student, and Myung-hee has worked as a nurse for the past 3 years. They are in a time where protesting is very popular amongst university students, which reminded me a little bit of Reply 1988. People will like crack down on these people who protest, and then also like there is this underlying theme of like the bad guys and then who come together to like put an end to these protesters by like going to war and stuff in this city. This drama was like really addicting, and it's only 12 episodes. The normal typical Korean drama has 16, so it's shorter than a typical K-drama. Like again, Lee Do-hyun's acting and Go Min-soo's acting is like, oh my gosh. I'm very sad about this drama because I got spoiled before I started watching. Yeah, which is like completely ruined the ending for me. But I still watched it anyway and decided to keep watching because it was that good, you know. I knew where things were going, but I wanted to watch it anyway. And because it's only 12 episodes, let's talk about the spoilers now. So in the end, right, Go Min-soo dies. It links up to the first episode, because the first episode it cuts to this news report about the police discovering this skeleton in a construction site. This person who looks like a homeless person looks at the TV, drops his bag, his chin is quivering in motion. They don't have a happy ending together, which is super sad, but it's super good. Very bittersweet also. Like this is a completely new level of bittersweet, not like Moment of 18. I would put this in Asa because my experience was ruined by the freaking spoiler. I don't know where I would have put it if I hadn't been spoiled. But I had been spoiled, so yeah, it will just be in Asa. Our law school, we follow this bunch of students in the law school. The first episode cuts off to this murder that happens in the law school during like their mock trial class. We follow like these 2 professors and like their students, you know. I'm not a law student, so I don't really know how realistic the portrayal is of like law schools and stuff, but I really enjoyed this drama. The main professor, right, is Yang Jong-hoon, Kyo-soo-nim, who is played by Kim Young-min, and the second professor is Lee Jong-on, played by Kim Eun-seok. Okay, and the professor who died is So Byung-ju, played by An Hae-sang. We just follow like the law cases and like everything ties together really well. So Yang Jong-hoon, right, he's like a very like mean professor who is like very like aggressive in his lectures and stuff. So students don't like him because of this. The main students are Kang Sol, Ryu Hae-young, and Han Jun-hui, Ki-bom. Ki-bom is the Boys Over Flowers guy, like oh my gosh. Yeah, and Leong is the girl from Reply 1988. They are first year law students, and then there are other students also. We follow them in this school about how they struggle with the law exam. At the bar, there is the murder case also, so like who killed him. And there are other cases that spring out along the way. It reminds me of crime dramas that I like to watch because there are like different cases, you know. And then also like the characters are really good, fleshed out in this drama as well, which is why I will put it all the way in You're My Person, You Belong to Me. It's so good. The only thing that I had to critique for or is this even a critique? Like, it's spoilery part already. There is no romance in this drama, but I would have really loved for there to have been romance between the two main characters because their chemistry is so good. It gives off the Vincenzo vibe, except I didn't feel the chemistry in Vincenzo. Like, they just stare at each other for a while, and all these glances, longing glances, and the things they do for each other. It's just like, yeah, I don't think there will be a second season for Law School, but I really want a second season just for the romance to blossom, you know. Like, their chemistry is so good. Hae-young's acting is so good because it's like kind of a complete change from her character in Reply 1988, and she pulls both of them off so well. Second last drama, Love Struck in the City, is about Ji Chang-wook and Kim Ji-won. Ji Chang-wook plays Park Jae-won, who is an architect with an honest personality, and then Kim Ji-won plays Lee Eun-oh, who works as a freelancer marketer. And I only watched like the first episode for this, so I have to say that I didn't continue watching, so don't let your opinion get influenced by mine because I'll only watch the first episode. But yeah, I put this straight in Changnan-hae because the first episode showed them like in interview format, so like they are talking to the camera as if the camera is asking them the question, and then they reply it in like an interview question format, and I don't like that kind of style. And I couldn't really feel the chemistry between Ji Chang-wook and Kim Ji-won. Yeah, I couldn't really feel that chemistry also. So like, I decided to just stop watching because I didn't want to waste my time. Yeah, and then the final drama, if you are still here, thank you. The final drama, The Uncanny Counter, which I just finished this morning. So it might be a little biased, but I kind of know where I want to put it already. There's The Uncanny Counter. I always thought it was The Uncanny Encounter, so I couldn't find it when I was like trying to search it, but it's The Uncanny Counter. It's a fantasy drama, action, a little bit comedy. It's about a group of people who are called counters. Their purpose is to hunt down evil spirits, and they each have their own special abilities. And they disguise themselves as employees at a noodle restaurant. I think this is based off of a webtoon as well. So we follow So Moon, played by Jo Byung-gyu, who is a high school student. He is the youngest member of Counter. His special abilities is physical strength. He has like a very tragic background as well because as a child he was involved in a suspicious car accident and his parents died in the accident, such that he was left with a limp in his left leg. And then we follow Ga Mo-tak, who is played by Yoo Jun-sang, a former police officer. He had an accident 7 years ago, causing him to lose his memory, and he is a righteous person. Do Hana, who is played by Kim Se-jong, is another counter. I kind of don't want to let you know their abilities. I want you to like watch it for yourself. Although I already spoiled it so much, so it's okay. And then the last counter, the second last one is Cho Mae-ok, played by Yoon Hae-ran, who is the chef of the noodle restaurant. She is the anchor of the whole team. And last but not least, we have Chor Jang-moor, played by An Suk-hwan, who is the first counter of Korea, and he's in charge of managing their expenses. This drama, right, I cried so many times. Like, oh my gosh, it's super emotional because each counter has their own tragic backstory as to how they became a counter in the first place. To become a counter, right, you have to have been in a coma, except for So Moon, who like happened to became a counter without first going into a coma. You'll find out when you watch it. There are so many things to unpack in this drama that I really don't want to tell you. I just want you to watch it for yourself because it's so good. Like, oh my gosh, I don't get why the hype wasn't like more for this drama. It's really like super good. Like, I cried so many times and like, oh my god, so emotional. And then I really love like fantasy twists and a little bit darker dramas, you know. So if you have any recommendations for me based on my tier ranking as well, you can let me know. If it's not obvious enough, I'm going to put this all the way in You Are My Person, You Belong to Me. I thought I was done with the video, but I forgot to say like some more things about Uncanny Counter. It's actually like a lot more darker than I thought it would be because it's like they're fighting against evil spirit. The evil spirits are like very violent, and then they will like kill people to get stronger lah. So like it's the methods that they kill people, and then also like the methods that they torture the people or the counters is a little bit like gory and like a little bit hard to watch, but it's not a lot. Yeah, and then because we followed So Moon, right, he's like a super like happy-go-lucky, very cute boy, and then I really love the dynamics between the counters because it's like a little family, and then it's like he has like an older sister, and then like the two older counters are like his parents, that kind, you know. It's like really really very cute, like how they treat him as like a little brother or like a little son. And then because he's a very like emotional character, right, so when he like does things wrongly, he will like feel like very like apologetic about it. And then I thought like when he gets in trouble, the people will scold him, but then it's like they scold him out of like love and like fear that he will get in danger, you know. And it's like really really very cute. Our main character starts off as being like a disabled person because he has injured his leg in a car accident, right? I already mentioned this before, but like, oh my god, the scene where I think Jo Byung-gyu is a very good actor, because I think the scene where like, he discovered that he can walk already, and then after that he showed like his friends, his family members that he can walk also, and then the music when it hits, right, like oh my god, it's so emotional and so good. And he's like a character that can just cry so easily, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is so good. It's super super emotional, and it hits even harder, right, when like you know how he's like a happy-go-lucky character, but he actually has so much trauma inside, and when he like actually like can walk, you know, like how much that joy would give him, then he can run also, like oh my god. I thought that it was a little bit wasted that they healed his leg so that he can walk, because like gave off the message that like people with disabilities cannot be heroes, you know. But then at the end, right, like in the last episode, in the final showdown, like the villain actually like broke his leg, and then he ended up saying like, oh, I feel more comfortable this way also. So he continued fighting the bad character with his leg injured. And I know like after that his leg got healed again, but at least it shows like the message that with or without his disability, he's also a hero, you know. Yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to say. I hope. Okay, I think I don't want to change any rankings from here. It seems quite good for now. So yeah, that's all for the video. And I hope you enjoyed it, although it's like going to be super long. It's going to take so long to edit also. Yes, okay. Do you agree with my tier rankings or do you not agree? Let me know. Okay, goodbye.